One of the biggest reasons that a lot of websites and businesses fail to convert visitors into leads and sales is because their offer simply isn't exciting enough. And here's the thing, there are likely hundreds, if not thousands, of other businesses out there all saying and claiming the same exact thing as you. So how on earth can you stand out in such a noisy marketplace? Well, in the words of Don Corleone, you have to make them an offer they can't refuse.
I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse.
So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 10 elements that go into making a truly irresistible offer that your customers and potential customers are going to find it impossible to refuse. And if you stick around to the end, I've got a special training for you that goes into some of the psychology used by some of the biggest brands out there to really make offers that can ultimately sell themselves and generate you leads and sales on autopilot. So be sure to stick around to the end. Now, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what are the current pains that my audience has, and what are the goals that they have? What's the destination that they are looking to get to? Because it's important to remember here that nobody really buys products or services, right? What we're really buying is the transformation that that product or service brings us. So in order to clearly and effectively create an irresistible offer, you need to be very, very clear on the transformation that you're actually offering your potential customers. A great way of doing this is just to open up a spreadsheet, go on a Word document and list out the pains that your audience has right now. What is their current situation? What does an average day look for them right now? And what will an average day look like after having used your product or service? Really spend some time to get clear on here. We've actually got a document that we take a lot of our clients through. I'm going to link to it in the description below this video that you can download for free, and it will take you through brainstorming some ideas of what does that transformation look like, so you can really clearly communicate this in your offer. Now, the second question you want to be asking yourself is, how can I make this offer better than anything else out there? So I would highly suggest you go onto a few of your competitors' sites right now, see what they are offering, and think about some ways that you could potentially make your current offer better than what the competition is offering. A great way of doing this is to look at some of the reviews of some of your competitors. You can even use sites like Amazon to look at some of the books in your industry and have a look at some of the 5-star and the 1-star reviews. Find out what people are excited about, what people really love, and also find out what people feel is missing. This will really give you some great ammunition to compiling an offer that is going to be better than anything else out there on the market. This doesn't necessarily have to mean giving more things away, but it can really come down to how you communicate, package, and position your offer. Because really, we want things to be as simple as possible. Right? We don't want all of these things because it overwhelms us. Nobody wants loads and loads of stuff. We just want the quickest path to that transformation. So very often it's just a matter of positioning and packaging something differently as opposed to giving more stuff away. So really get to, do some research on this and try and find what it is your customers are actually looking for and how you can make it better than anything else out there right now. Now, the third question you want to be asking yourself to create an irresistible offer is, how can I make my customer's life easier while moving toward their goals? And this kind of ties into the last point we mentioned, right? This is about how can you make this as simple and as effortless as possible. You only have to look at the likes of, Amazon, Uber, Netflix to realize that people crave convenience, they crave speed, they want the quickest path to the outcome. So if you have any components in your process right now that are making things difficult for people to engage with you, even to the point of having lengthy contact forms on your website or making it difficult for people to know what the next step is to take. Think about, how can I simplify this whole process and make it easy and effortless for people to engage on the journey with us. One of the things that we did in our agency is we actually offered a free digital marketing audit, because what we found is that a lot of people coming to the website were overwhelmed and confused, right? They didn't know whether they needed SEO, do they need a new website, did they need some paid advertising? They simply didn't know, and they felt overwhelmed, and they ended up clicking off the website and looking for more answers. So what we did is we actually offered a first step of a free marketing and website review, where we will go through their website, record a 10 to 15 minute video looking at their current marketing, looking at their ads if they're running ads, looking at their website, and giving them some practical suggestions on how they can increase their traffic, leads and sales, because that's ultimately what they wanted. And that significantly increased the amount of conversions that we were getting from our website. So I would highly encourage you to do the same and to think about some things that are going to really streamline and simplify that process to bring people into your world and into your business. And by the way, shameless plug, if you do want a free review of your website, be sure to click the link below this video and you'll be able to book onto one of those today. Now, the fourth question you want to be asking yourself, and this is going to particularly apply if you're selling a higher value product or service, is there any way that you can splinter out your current offering into some smaller offers that will make it more digestible and easy for people to deal with you up front? So again, similar to the example I talked about earlier in the free review that we're offering, is there something you can do to splinter out a part of your process or to help people take that first step on the journey with you? If you're an e-commerce store, maybe there are some smaller products that you can sell people to begin with, samples or something, anything that's going to help people engage with you initially before making a larger investment. Now, the fifth question to ask that follows on nicely from point number 4 is, what is that problem that they are looking to solve right now? What is the initial problem or pain that your audience is dealing with? And what you'll find a lot of the time is what they need maybe isn't what they actually want to begin with, right? They think they want one thing. So an example here in our space is we have a lot of people coming to us saying that, oh, I've heard we need Facebook ads. I think this is what we need. When actually their offer's broken, their positioning is off, their website is complete garbage and it's not converting visitors. So little do they know, if they were to pour money into Facebook ads, they're effectively pouring water into a leaky bucket. So what we do is we provide lead magnets and resources to give those people what they want initially, and then once they've gone through that, we can work with them to educate them and to show them what they really need. So really think to yourself, what are the core pains that my potential audience could be dealing with right now? Right? An example here, if you were a chiropractor, let's say, it might be somebody just wants that initial pain relief. They don't necessarily know right now that they need a spinal adjustment. They just want to get rid of the pain. So maybe an entry point offer or something here to introduce up front would be a way to initially get rid of that pain, as a way of bringing them into your world, and you can then educate them and diagnose them with what they truly need. Now, question number 6 is, how can I reverse the risk for the customer? This is a huge one and can make an astronomical impact on the amount of conversions that you are getting. This has been used by, the likes of Casper and Simba mattresses. If you've seen any of these like delivery mattress companies, they all offer very bold and clever and unique guarantees. So things like, 100 nights, better sleep guarantee, right? Which is crazy when you think about it. So you get to sleep on that mattress for 100 nights to test it out. If you're not happy, they will come and collect it. Now, I will say here that a lot of people feel reluctance and hesitation with this because, there's a lot of fear around, oh, what if people are refunding all the time? If you have a decent product or service, if you have sold this product or service successfully and you know that people are happy with it, you need to be willing to to put that on the line. Because what you'll find very often is that the increase in sales you get will far outweigh any refunds that come through. Generally, refunds, if you've got a good product or service, might be around 2 to 3%. But the increase in sales can be exponential. We're talking 500% increase plus. So really think about a potential guarantee or some form of risk reversal that you can offer to your potential clients to make it a no-brainer. One of the things we do as an example for a lot of our clients on the web design side is we will make the initial engagement refundable. So before we've started building and designing the website, we make the initial consultation refundable. So if people aren't happy after going through that, they don't feel comfortable with us, we will refund them 100% of the money they've paid us up front. It's a way for us to get paid up front. It's a way for us to have that initial engagement and see if it's a good fit. So think about some other ways around this that you could frame or reposition to make it less risk to the customer. Okay, so point number 7, and this is a big one as well. Does my offer clearly articulate the transformation? And this comes back into point 1, right? And you might want to revert back to that list you built out from point 1, but are you clearly articulating the transformation that you're actually offering people? Big mistake we see with a lot of websites is that they get very carried away talking about all the features and benefits and, you know, how amazing their product is and how many awards it's won, when people don't really care about that. They don't really care about your company or all your awards. They just care about, is this going to get me to where I want to be, right? Always have in mind that your product or service is nothing but a vehicle to get your customers to their desired end outcome. So make sure that you are speaking into the outcome that you want, speaking into the pains that they have, and then articulating the transformation that your offer is going to bring to them. Okay, now point number 8 is testimonials and social proof. If you don't have any testimonials right now, I would highly suggest, whether you're in a service-based business, maybe even offering some free work to people. If you're in a product-based business, getting your product out into the hands of some potential customers, even if you have to do it at a cost initially, just to get some reviews. And I would be strategic about this. This is something that I always say to a lot of our clients. Some people just aren't very good at giving reviews, right? If you know people, if you have friends, connections, colleagues who are very eccentric, very expressive, they are the kind of people you want to have writing reviews about your product, right? Obviously the product needs to help them, it needs to be relevant to them, but you want to, if you do have a list of customers at the moment, try and find those people who are very expressive. Maybe they're even people who have got big platforms already, right? And you can reach out to them, ask them for a video review, a written review, whatever you can get, but it's really important to be leveraging these. Another great way you can use this on your website is to have some of these things that potentially trigger FOMO for people, right? That fear of missing out. So, there's a few examples that use this to great success, like saying, over 20,000 reviews, or join 124,000 other members on this journey, right? It gets people into that tribe mentality and thinking, oh crap, I'm missing out. I need to be part of this. Now, question number 9 is, can you use any scarcity or urgency in your offer? Because it's human nature, right? We love to put things off. We'll look at something and we say, oh, I'm busy, I'll come back to it later. What usually happens is that people will forget and you've lost them forever, right? So one of the best things you can do is to create some scarcity and urgency around your offer. So if you're in a service-based business, the way this might look is making your offer very exclusive. There are a number of brands who have used this to great effect, even by simply having something like sign up to the wait list to get this, right? It builds that image of exclusivity, and Apple are a company that do this extremely well, having pre-orders. When people know something's going to sell out, when it feels like it's exclusive, the demand will just rise and the anticipation builds in people. Donald Miller talks about this in his fantastic book, Building a Story Brand, which if you haven't read, I would highly recommend going to check that out because it's a phenomenal book. There's also another book called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley, which goes into this in more detail. So 2 incredible books to check out there. Another example of this, if you're an e-commerce brand or you're selling physical products, is even to use something as simple as a dispatch timer, right? So even having something on the product page that says, hey, if you order this in the next 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is, you'll get next day shipping, right? Just having that countdown timer can help to add some urgency, but be sparing with this. Don't use this if it's not true, right? If you're selling a digital product, don't say we've only got 5 left, because it doesn't make sense, right? This can actually damage your trust and your reputation with the customer. So only use scarcity and urgency if it's actually true. Okay, now the final point and the final question you want to be asking yourself here is my offer worth 10 times what I'm charging for it? Right, so when you're looking at your offer, when you've gone through all of these points, you're writing it down, you're structuring it, you're putting it on your website, ask yourself, like, is this worth 10 times? Do I feel this is worth 10 times what I'm actually charging for it? If not, think about how you can go and add more value to your offer to increase that perceived value with people. And when you get to the end of this, the final question, like we talked about earlier, is this an offer I can't refuse? Because the truth is, if your offer is easy to refuse, most people probably will. So that's it, guys. That's the 10 questions and elements that go into creating an irresistible offer for your brand. As promised, I've linked to a special training that I did in the description below, which really goes into more of the psychology behind creating an offer and some of the same tactics and strategies that have been used by some of the biggest brands out there to really create offers that people just can't resist and that ultimately sell themselves without you needing to sell them to people. So be sure to check that one out. And if you do want personalized feedback on your website or on your current offer, be sure to book onto your free website and marketing review. That's also in the link below. And one of our team will go through your website and record you a 10 to 15 minute video screen share, giving you practical tips and suggestions on how you can significantly increase your traffic, leads, and sales. If you've got value from the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this on a weekly basis. And I'll speak to you guys again soon.